It's the International Soccer Preview. We are Soccer Files Canada. Welcome to our continuation of Series 19. This one looking at the players of the 2023 Asian Cup. This episode is part 2 of the players of China. Here we go. And now we move on to our Spotlight Review, where we try to predict which players are going to be starting. So just let me go back to the top of my list of players with all the information I have. And so Alexander Jankovic, we're going to call him a starter. We don't think he will be changed. Goalkeeper Yang Juning, we're quite confident about that. So we highlight his name in green. We're confident he's going to be the starter. In central defense, we are confident that Zhu Zhenji will be one of the starters, but we're really confused about who's going to start alongside him for a couple of reasons. First of all, Tyrus Browning or Jiang Guangtai looked like he was going to be starters when we did part 1 of the mediacast. However, he's only started one of their 4 games, the last friendly since then. So this includes the 2 World Cup qualifiers, which we take more seriously because we believe they would have put their best team out there. Another confusing factor is that they continue to go with a 3-man back line. And so are using kind of out of position players. So we think for that reason that we're just going to put Tyrus Browning as a likely starter, Jiang Guangtai, and we're going to add 2 that they've used over the last couple of games. One is Zhang Ningpeng. He's a right back actually, and the other is Jiang Shenglong, who really kind of came in out of the cold to start not only in that 3-man defense, but in the center of it. So he is actually, we had him as a midfielder because the only 2 starts he had over the past couple of years were as a defensive midfielder. So yeah, not really sure what's going to happen back then, even the formation that they'll lose. We have 2 candidates at left back, Liu Yang and Li Lei, but we don't really have the confidence to put them there as starters. We're not sure that they're going to use those players, especially if they use a 3-man back line. So we are not going to put anyone at left back. On the other hand, at right back is the player we mentioned as a central defender. So it seems he moves back into central defense if it's a 3-man back line. Otherwise, we think Zhang Linpen will be the right back if they use that position. Not necessarily so, though, if that right back pushes up to a midfield position. Central midfielders, Wu Ji, we think is a definite starter. We would have said Li Ke or Nico Yanaris. However, as we saw, he withdrew for personal reasons. So we think it's likely that they're going to use Wang Shang Yuan, but we're not confident about that. So we put it in a blue highlight as a likely starter. Left wing, Wei Shi Hao. Was not actually our top candidate, but he has started the last 4 games. So both World Cup qualifiers and both friendlies. So we're going to nominate him as a starter now. On the right wing, we actually, because of the formations they've been using, we're going to nominate 2 candidates here. Liu Bin, who we hadn't rated nearly as highly when we did part 1. I think we had him as a possible candidate, but we think he's going to be a starter, but in a more defensive role, as in a right winger. But if it's a more offensive role, like a right attacking midfielder or a right forward, or just a plumb forward, we think Wu Lei is a definite starter regardless. And then finally, our forward, Tan Long, we think is going to be the starting forward, perhaps alongside Wu Lei or perhaps as a sole forward. All right, that brings us to the end. We'd like to thank Naver Abachan and Pixabay for the wonderful music you hear in this mediacast. The title is called Arabic Trap.